Welcome back to Man Across New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Shall we see what's going on our lovely little island of Fawnhollow today, as we jump straight into it, doing whatever we do. You know, do what we do. What's that Katy Perry song? This is how we do. This is how we do. Yeah, chilling. Okay, I don't know. People didn't talk about that Katy Perry song. Not for like any particular reason. I guess it's just not one of her top hits, like Firework and I Kissed a Girl and California Girls and. I know there's more. It's hard to think off the top of my head, to be honest. But anyway, let's get straight into it, shall we? Hello, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 3:39 PM on Friday, July 16th, 2021. And there isn't any news to speak of today, so we'll go about our usual business. What should we talk about? That's always how we start off every single episode. I should always remember... Oh, what? Wait, hold on. I don't know if Isabel was actually saying something different there or not. Maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. I don't know. But yeah, I've got to remember we should start our conversations after we read our mail from villages today, otherwise I'll just end up randomly interrupting my trailer for, and you know, you want a nice flowing conversation, right? That smoothly goes from one to the next, so I don't know why you're watching me, because I don't do that, but in theory, that's how it goes. For the one and only canopy, I saw this wallpaper and one word came to mind, canopy. It was followed by exquisite, high class and trend setting. The point is, this is more than just a wallpaper, it's a lifestyle. Yours, Raymond. I don't even know what that means, but thank you very much, Raymond, for giving us a black botanical tile wall. I don't even know what that means, but sure. Red is not a visitor for today, so we'll go about usual business. Yeah, I think I want, what we talk about, the Steam Deck thing, which is was recently announced and available, I suppose, now for pre-order. Maybe even more than pre-order. Can you actually just buy it now? I don't know. I think it's just for pre-order, is what I saw. I was reading about it. It looks kind of cool, I guess. I mean, I suppose it would always be nice to have like the ability to play whatever Steam controller, not Steam controller, sorry, Steam games you want on the go, and having a dedicated console for it seems pretty reasonable to me, and it seems like something we definitely should have capitalized on earlier. I suppose, but they're trying to, the Valve themselves are trying to sort of edge themselves into the console-esque market, because you know we've got the Steam Link, which is I guess the closest you get to a Steam console, but really it's sort of like a way of doing remote play from, instead of playing it on your computer, instead now on your TV screen or something of that ilk. I don't know. I don't have Steam Link. I don't use it because I just play all my games on my computer monitor anyway. I find that more convenient. In fact, I even end up playing my TV-based games on my computer monitor anyway, because that's what I do. Like right now I'm playing Animal Crossing through OBS. I'm not even using the computer monitor anymore because I just can't be bothered to switch the inputs. And OBS is easy. You just open it, then that's it. Yeah. So they had Steam Link, I suppose, before to... I mean, it seems a bit misleading to call it a home console, but I guess now with the advent of Steam Deck, which I guess it's kind of like if Steam made the Switch, kind of. It's got its own handheld... It's its take on the Switch, I suppose. It's got its own handheld mini screen sort of thing. Not really mini, it's actually quite large, to be honest. Like, it looks larger than the Switch. I don't actually know if it is or not, but it'd be nice to play a lot of the games I have on Steam on the go. Like, a lot of the puzzle games would be nice if I didn't have recording for YouTube and that sort of thing. It'd be nice to play them, like Bab As You, Binding is Isaac. Binding of Isaac would be a really fun one to play on the go. And having something directly made for it would be nice, and not having to like start over again, because of course all my progress is on PC. If I bought it for like the Switch or something, I had to play it all over again and unlock everything, and that's a bit of a slog because some things are quite difficult. Ultra hard challenge. So I don't particularly want to go through that sort of nonsense again. I say nonsense, that seems a bit demeaning, but you know what I mean. Of course, it's just another console for you to run Skyrim or GTA 5. But this time you don't have to... I guess the benefit is now a portable console that you can play the games you already own on them, and that's great. And apparently there's... I can't remember, I was only vaguely reading with Red, but there's talks of it being quite cool because you can now emulate things on it. It's got like an SD card slot, and you can run like Unix on it, maybe. I can't remember exactly what you can run on it, but you can run something on it. And people are pretty interested in that, so just like, oh, this is actually a really good emulator. And yeah, it seems kind of cool. I will say ergonomically it's a bit weird, apparently Valve do love their touchpads, and to be honest, I do as well. I love a touchpad on a Steam controller if it makes sense to use it in the game. You know, some games it doesn't really make sense, but I like using it as a way to look around. So I used it in It Takes Two. I much preferred it as a camera control system. It was not great as an aiming system, I think, and at least I'm not used to it. I suppose is probably the bigger issue, and I find probably a lot of people would not be used to it, so probably aren't as big a fan of it being on the Steam Deck. You know what? Let's get the Steam Deck up on here, up on my screen, so I can actually look at it properly. But you got to give props to Valve for, you know, changing things up rather from the usual formula of, oh, I did not mean to attack you. What you'd expect from. Alright. Good talking to you. Did he say scrat, I'm on my break, or did I read that incorrectly? But you got to give him credit for, I suppose, changing up from what's usually expected of these sort of home console things, and actually incorporating touchpads, which you don't see on, like, really much. I guess a PS5 has it. Like, it's got a central touchpad sort of thing, but, you know, it wasn't particularly, like, leaned into. But I will say it's very strange having the D-pad and the buttons be so far away, like in the top right and the top left corner of the thing, and they look very uncomfortable to use. But I guess the idea is those are buttons that you're not meant to be using all that often, but maybe you are. I can't believe we've been deep sea diving this entire time. We haven't. This is like the first scallop we've found in ages. I actually completely forgot about Pascal. Yeah, and actually, I wouldn't have that much of an issue with it if I felt like the touchpads worked on more games. Not like worked as in physically worked, but as in it felt like the games... Oh, I didn't read out your good advice. I forgot, Pascal. It's been too long. The synergy between using the touchpad and the game felt more robust because, you know, I've got a Steam controller, so I can tell you my experience of playing certain games of it. And some games it works really well. Like, as I say, it works pretty well with It Takes Two, you know. The layout of a touchpad just like in place of a joystick, and you don't really need the other touchpad, I suppose. It works well when browsing, like in place of a mouse. You just use the touchpad as a touchpad, so there you go. It doesn't really work in Binding of Isaac, I'll be honest. Mainly because like touching the touchpad only shoots once, it doesn't shoot multiple times, so you'd have to like continuously like tap the touchpad, which is not really what I'm going for. And I guess you could reprogram it. That's like the whole point of a Steam controller, is you can reprogram all the inputs to your liking. And I see no reason why they wouldn't have something similar for the Steam Deck as well. But the fact that it's interesting they chose the touchpads to be the prominent feature, I suppose, of a control system. I think it's a bold move. I'm not sure if it's going to pay off for them, because I feel like a lot of people aren't particularly... don't really like using the touchpads, and I'm sort of in my minority where I actually do prefer them in most cases. It's just sometimes the games aren't really created with them in mind, which makes the control system a bit more finicky. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I shouldn't really comment it if I haven't really like held it or given it a try. Is it something I'm going to buy? Like, if I had excess money, I could see myself spending money on it, but as of right now, it's not really in the cards for me. I don't really... Like, if I want to do portable gaming, I suppose most of the time I just bring my laptop. So this is like a weird niche, like, where I'm like, okay, I need to do portable gaming, and I want to play exclusively my Steam game library. And I have no reason to bring a laptop with me. Okay, so I guess that makes sense on like certain trips and holidays that I might go on. But if I wanted to bring a console, I'd probably just bring my Switch and play those games instead. But I can see why you wouldn't. And I guess the main draw for it, for me, if I was to buy it, is the fact that I can use my save files I have on my PC, presumably, to play on it. So, for example, like Crypt of a Nectar Dancer, I have it on both Switch and PC. I haven't really played much of either of them, but it's a bit of a nuisance, I'd imagine, having to grind out on both of them if I really wanted to do stuff on it. I just saw some weeds growing back there, so we're going to actually loop around and go get them. You hear that noise? That was a weird noise. Don't know what that was. I just noticed that I'm looking at the revolving Steam Deck, just like on my other monitor here. It's got back buttons on it, which is, I think, a bold choice, because I think the back buttons do not have, most of the time, been detrimental to my Steam controller experience rather than beneficial. How big is this moth? Or is it this mosquito needs to be closer to the water? It can't be. Physically impossible. Ah, what year is it? Okay, well, that was quite a long pause because I got rather distracted and had stuff to do, but here we are, we're back. Here we are, don't turn away now. Okay, sorry, probably shouldn't turn every opportunity for a reason to sing out Warriors by Imagine Dragons, promoted for the, I don't know, 2014 League of Legends World Championships, is that right? I don't remember. What was I talking about before? Ah, the Steam Deck. I remember. I don't remember if I said all I want to say about it. Did I mention the fact that it looks very inconvenient, whether the D-pad and the buttons are? Like, it's very strange. Because I suppose on the Steam controller, they're also in kind of a strange place where they're quite, like, centralized compared to where you'd normally expect them to be. But, you know, you got to give props. I'm not going to say it's, like, revolutionary or something, but it's different, you know? And people have different tastes and that sort of thing. I just check out a bit more with Red, and actually it turns out people were pretty positive about the touchpads, to be honest, and, you know, that's cool. And I like that sentiment because, you know, I like the touchpads as well. And I use them where I can. I don't actually use the Steam controller to browse my computer, but that's probably because I'm not used to it. And the sort of like, the awkward period where you have to readjust to using a different tool is a bit too much. Like, you know, I kind of already can use a mouse incredibly well. I don't know why I use the Steam controller, apart from the fact I guess it's more ergonomic. And to be honest, the Steam controller is actually kind of larger in my hands, if anything. Spend pounds to buy items. Seashells. Did we picked up some seashells. Sorry, I actually just can't remember what on earth I've been doing. Have we found our visitor today? I don't think we have yet, right? And we know it's not Red, and it's a wandering visitor. It can't be Sahara. And it can't be Gulliver, so it's Gulliver. I don't know you could even have Gulliver and Gulliver in the same week. Oh no, it could be Flick. It could be Flick. You're right. You're right, person I'm having an imaginary conversation with in my head. No, what was my point? But yeah, I was reading more of a thread. Apparently the specs on it are actually really good. It's basically like a mid-range computer, a mid to low-range computer, and they're selling it for, I can't remember, hold on, let's see how much they're selling it for. Like £350. That's pretty cheap for like a portable and then also reasonably good computer, because apparently you can run even AAA titles on high settings, which is impressive considering its portability. It makes me wonder how they made any money on this, because $350 is cheap as heck for a computer, and the fact it's probably rivaling, I think someone said it's got like half the capability of like the Xbox One or something, and PS4, I think. That's incredible. Are you kidding? That's crazy for £350 considering it's a portability thing. Of course, you can upgrade to, let's say, £460. Faster storage carrying case. Exclusive Steam community profile bundle, which I don't think anyone cares about. £570. Fastest storage. Hello, Gulliver. You can apparently have them both in 1 week. I didn't realise. Premium anti-glare etch glass. Oh, and you actually get a bigger storage size as well. I didn't even realise that. Oh, 64 gigabytes is actually quite small for storage, considering. I'm not sure if you can play every game on this, because I can't imagine what playing like Siege would be like on this, but Siege is like 50 gigabytes itself or something, so it's going to be, I guess this is meant to be for smaller titles, you know, you got your indie titles that you want to play on the go. And to be honest, I am actually kind of interested in this sort of thing, but the cost right now is not in the books on me. It's not a priority. I don't have, like, you know, be considerate about your spending and that sort of thing. This is not something I'd use, I think, often enough to justify it, but perhaps if it goes on sale and many years down the line and, you know, I've got some money to, and I'm like, ooh, treat yourself, I might pick it up. Sure, I'll look for it. But it's pretty cool, you know, but, well, oh yeah, I was talking more about, like, playing games and portability. Because I actually played a lot of 3DS games, but as, you know, I get older, I found myself that I was, playing portable consoles less and less, as I just favoured playing stuff on my computer, because, you know, a computer is very much a jack of all trades. You can do everything on it. You can like watch YouTube videos as you play something, as you're simultaneously drawing something, as you listen to a podcast at the same time. You've got your music on in the background. Podcasting music is perhaps a bit excessive, but either or, you know, and you talk to your friends at the same time. It's everything in one, really. Well, there's very few times where I'm just like, I just want to solely play this game. The exceptions, of course, being that with Nintendo consoles, and you know me right now, that's the whole point I started this YouTube channel, is because I was like, I have so many games that I want to check out. Of course, I'm very passionate about video games and that sort of thing. I want to check them out, but I want the motivation to do it at the same time. And you know, let's practice being able to speak more fluently, I suppose, and be able to, I suppose, in some aspect, be rather performative. I would say in the end, I'm not particularly performative, or like not in the sense you might expect from other YouTube creators. I'm much more low-key, but you know, I suppose that's just how it is in Animal Crossing compared to the other games where I tend to be a little bit more hyped up. But I think it's just because the market's oversaturated with really over-the-top and excitable people. Like, I don't need to be the same as them. I'm going to carve my own niche of a nice tea time sort of experience while playing games. But yeah, but having it as a portability thing, I think is honestly, they should have done this ages ago. And I guess Valve kind of now are realising they want to, okay, maybe not now realising, but they have been, at least for the past few years, been like, we're not really a games company anymore, we're more like a games service company, aren't we? You know, they released a Valve VR system, which I can't remember what it's called. What is about Valve VR? Look it up if you don't know. Valve VR, is it just called a Valve VR headset? The Valve Index, what? Is that really what it's called? Actually, I had no idea what it's called then, fair enough. We have the Valve Index. They're using like the Steam obviously the major service, Steam Link and the controllers and the stuff that they're providing, and they kind of had a monopoly on the whole online PC gaming marketplace situation for ages. Like the only rivals being, I guess, EA Origin, kind of, but even then not that big. And now Epic Games is definitely much more of a rival. They basically, Epic Games kind of had to, you know, I mean, there's been controversies about the fact that they like bought exclusivity, but you know, how else do you expect them to sort of muscle into the market? To be honest, people are just like, we want competition. And the next Epic's like, okay, now we've got exclusives, and here's your competition. And then people are just like, no, we don't want competition that way. And it's like, well, what do you expect? No one's going to use Epic. People are very set in their ways, and myself included. I didn't really start using Epic until I started getting the free games. And talking about that, let's see what a free game is right now for this week, because I've missed out on quite a few of them, which is really annoying, because, you know, free content, free games to play is always nice. Do I play most of them? Not really, but you know, it's always nice to pick up free games that you like. So what is it right now? New for you, new in game Fortnite. LeBron James is in Fortnite? What? Pardon me? So let's see, what's a free abduction? Never even heard of it. Apparently I didn't pick up enough seashells. She sells seashells by the seashore, so we'll pick up some seashells, we'll do some fishing. Place order, sure, whatever. But yeah, now I use Epic Games. Not as much as I use Steam, because Steam has more sales more often, and it's just a bit more convenient for me to use them, because that's where everything is, and it's got native support of the Steam controller, which is generally what I want to play the games with. But Epic Games, you know, I'll buy the game if it's cheaper. I've got bug snacks on Epic Games because of a nice Steam, Steam, some sale, but Epic Games sale, where they were selling, they gave you like a voucher for like £15 off, as long as the game was £20 or more. So I was like, bug snacks for £5? That's a bargain, and I wanted to play it anyway. I do find it funny though, how many there are now. People are obviously, they just want like competition. People just want like lower prices, but they don't want multiple clients. I don't really mind for multiple clients as long as the clients all are equal, like good. I suppose is a way to put it. And Epic's is pretty good. I just wish the Steam controller. I know it's stupid, it doesn't make sense, but I wish the Steam controller was more natively supported with it, and it didn't have to be so finicky. But yeah, I use them. I've got itch.io, which I don't really use all that often, mainly because I don't have a client for itch.io, so I'd never really open it. In the first place, there's Origin, and I only play EA games, to be honest, on Origin. I just don't like the client, but that's why I don't tend to use them. But we have a competition now, so I wonder if it's the sort of thing where other online retail, like game retailers, are going to try and get their foot into this sort of market as well, because this is a fantastic thing, you know. It might sound stupid, like, oh, I want portable PC gaming. Duh, buy a laptop. Well, yeah, but it's not quite the same. You might say it sounds a bit excessive to have something solely committed just for the gaming purposes, but the amount of time I was like, oh, I want to play like a game and go, like, you know, when I used to play Binding of Isaac, like when Rebirth first came out, I was like, oh, I want to play some Isaac. Oh, how am I going to play it on my laptop? Oh, I don't want to boot up my laptop and have it slowly run and all this sort of things, because my laptop wasn't made for gaming, it was made for schoolwork and all that sort of thing, so it doesn't even run that nicely, and it's not quick, and I had to keep it plugged in because the battery life is like whatever. It's not a great laptop, mind you, but it does its job. It's basically what I used it for, so I can't complain. But then to be like, oh, I want to play it, oh, why don't I just bust out the Steam Deck or whatever, switch it on, bling, bloop, I'm in it, like, immediately. That sounds great, I think. Your mileage may vary when it comes to that sort of things. I suppose it depends on a lot on what sort of games you like to play, what games you want to play, what games you have access to. But I think a really cool thing about Steam Deck is apparently you can, like, it comes with Steam OS natively, fair enough, but apparently you can wipe it and install Windows on it, so you can play like any sort of games on it if you really wanted to. You could get your Epic Games games on there, you get your other things. I don't know if they'd be natively supported on that sort of thing, so it might be rather difficult, but you could. And cute music player, I'll take it. So yeah, having, basically it's like, you know, people always are like, oh, what, I wish this game would come out on Switch so I could play it on the go. Now, you can do both. And you can have the save files linked between them, which is really the most important things to me. I certainly like my sense of progress in video games, and not being able to like have saves shared over the same game over different consoles makes me just go, oh, I don't want to, and you know, also I don't want to buy the same game again. But having it as an accessibility, portability point is awesome. Oh yeah, going on to the thing I said before about how I wonder how they're making any money with this. It suddenly occurred to me, they probably aren't making money with this, they're probably selling this at a loss, right? Because I believe that's, I can't remember, I read, like one of the Sony people talked about how they sell the PlayStation at a loss, because the theory goes that buying well, obviously no one buys a PlayStation just for itself. I guess maybe some people bought the Xbox as a DVD player, but people buy the PlayStation and presumably buy games along with it, and the games is where they make most of the money. Because I guess you buy one console, but you buy multiple games, and the assumption is if you sell the console at a loss, people will buy lots of games to go with it, and that's, you know, where you kind of get the money back, which is interesting, you know, and I never really thought about it. Because I guess if you wouldn't sell them at loss, they would be really expensive. It'd probably be like £600 or something for like the PlayStation. Well, I don't even know how much the PS5 costs, but PS4 probably like £600. PS5 price. It's $400? What? The digital edition is £360. That is absurdly cheap. It probably costs like £600 to £700, I guess, if they wanted to sell it not at loss. And people would just be like, that's way too much, I'm not going to buy it. And then, but maybe the games would be like £10 each. I don't know. That's probably not right. So by, you know, and you might be like, okay, by selling it at a loss, you're not going to make any money, but you actually make more money because, you know, by selling it cheaply, people would just be like, sorry, and this is like, I suppose it's probably like economics 101. If you're like an economist, you'll probably listen to us and rolling your eyes because I have such a rudimentary understanding of how business works and that sort of thing. But yeah, by selling it at a loss, you know, you sort of, it's not like getting your foot in the door, the foot in the door technique or whatever it is. Be like, oh, okay, this seems affordable, I'll buy it, and now I'm incentivized and encouraged to buy games for it, which is where you make all the money off, and you of course buy like probably like 30 times more games than you buy consoles. So, you know, if they make a loss of £300 in consoles, it's like, okay, well maybe they'll make that up in about 10 games, so that's fine. As long as your average consumer buys more than 10 games, you're completely fine. I mean, you know, they do. Like, thinking about it, even the Switch, which I probably not even bought all that many games for, I probably have a ton of games I don't even think about. At least I have at least like 20 or so. Isn't that weird? What are you doing, Raymond? Are you right? Konnichiwa to you as well. You want to see this? I mean, I guess. Boy needs some more. Yeah, what was I saying? I don't know. Completely slipped my mind about where I was going with this. So probably not making money on it. And maybe I'll pick it up at some point. It does seem very interesting. But I suppose it will see. I'll have to see how long my Binding of Isaac fever will be going on for. Have we caught enough bugs? One more bug. One more bug for revolution, we will catch it in a net. Sorry, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to see how long my sort of fever for playing Binding of Isaac goes. But then maybe I'll move on to Crypto and Necrodance. You know, I've got tons of sort of games I'd love to repeatedly play on the go, but I mean, obviously not now, because, you know, when a pandemic situation, there's not really not many places to go, but, you know, things are opening up now. You know, I'm still waiting on my second injection, but that'll be coming at, let me think, at the end of this month, presumably. That's an 8-week period, and it'll be cool. And then, you know, we can all visit each other again. Well, I mean, like, the royal we, and obviously I'm not going to visit you because I don't know who you are, but you can visit your friends and family and all that sort of thing. Or at least go down to the shops and that. So you won't have to wear a mask anymore, presumably. I don't know. You listen to what the government says about that sort of thing. I certainly know much more than me. Wear it until then, as you should do. If you're anti-masker, please leave. I don't know how you made it this far, but oh, don't even leave. Please just wear your mask. That's all I really got to say. Unless you're like New Zealand and you got the whole thing under control. But yeah, anyway, portability wise, that's cool. I don't know if I'll use portability as much as I think I would. So perhaps it's not as a large incentive as I think it is to get this. It's just like in concept, I think it's cool. But oftentimes when I go on holiday, I'm like, oh, I don't want to bring like an expensive console. What if I lose it? Sort of like a sunk cost fallacy. But then, you know, at the same time, if I don't bring it, then I'm not using it, and that's kind of like, it's wasting. Not wasting money, I'm just like not getting maximum enjoyment that I could out of it. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll come out with a pro version. And actually, now I think about it, it's kind of amusing that Valve have come out of this, like, not too soon after the fact people are disappointed about the Switch OLED version, isn't it? Like a Switch Pro. I guess this is your Switch Pro here. Your PC Pro. Like, if you got this and you got a Switch, you've basically covered like all the games. All the games, portability wise. Of course, there's obviously some Sony and Microsoft exclusives, so in which case you can get their relative portable console versions. Now I think about it, I don't think Microsoft even have an portable Xbox. That's weird. I never really thought about that. Like, obviously, Sony's got the PSP and the PS Vita, which apparently the PS Vita has not done as well as I thought it did. I only heard good things about the PS Vita, but like people apparently like wasn't supported, so people don't have it. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting foray for the PC marketplace, I suppose, to delve into portability, which is not just, you know, like laptops, and I suppose like you got tablet games and that sort of thing, but you know you have to exclusively make the game for the tablet, otherwise it's not playable. And you got the whole shebang of that sort of thing. It's different now. I'm different. Cyclometer tag, that's a bit difficult to get in these last 2 minutes. But yeah, it'd be cool. I don't know. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm just shocked at how powerful apparently it actually is compared to the price point. That's a good deal. Like, by the way, not sponsored, as I might say, but from my elementary understanding, that sounds like a good deal. I don't know if it actually is. Might be a terrible deal. You might look at it and you might be an economist and you might be like, wow, don't buy this. But to my consumer eyes, I'm like, cool. Nothing more to say to that. Cool. We've got a good backlog of Nook Mile missions once again. Sorry, Nook Miles, full stop. Keep calling them Nook Mile points, despite that's not what they're called. Let's just get rid of all this stuff. We don't need it anymore. Get out right now. It's the end of you and me. 'Cause I know about her and I want you to leave. You know that song? Let's Get Out by... I don't know who sings it. But yeah, I didn't really talk about what I did today. I mean, I've done some drawing. I played some Binding of Isaac. I've done Mega Satan by Untainted Lost. It was awesome. It was very, very close. I died at the same time as I killed Mega Satan, and I would have been very mad if that's how it ended, but luckily I had Birthright. That's not going to make any sense to you if you don't play Binding of Isaac. I had an extra life, basically, and it was cool. And yeah, I've done some drawing. That's about it. Nothing too eventful. Yeah. There we go, should we round this episode off here, I guess? Kind of run out of stuff to talk about, I don't know. It seems cool, I suppose. I made my apprehension for it. Like, I was apprehensive about it when I first heard about it, but, you know, I think it's actually cooler than I thought, because, you know, I was apprehensive about Steam Controller as well when I got it, and I'm like, this is amazing. I know, your mileage may vary, and I'm not sure, by the way, because I'm not sponsored, but, you know, if Valve, you want to sponsor me, that'd be strange, I suppose, but thank you. I don't really have much reach. But anyway, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are all greatly appreciated. Join the Dear Darling Discord and follow me on Twitter down below. Hope we can see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.